Hello there. It is the one and only Grub here. I need to get some fireplace music in the background. Get some music in the background. And then is this gonna be like regular? Is this gonna be too crazy? You know what? Give me the jazz. It is currently 7:40. This shirt seems a little floppy. Ugh. What two notifications are these? Steel isn't online. I know Steel was online yesterday. Hakuna Matata, Grub. Hakuna Matata. You know what? What type of coffee shops are there that are fancy? 12 of the most trendy cafes in New Jersey. Snacks? Cafe Vista, Hoboken, Beechwood. That just looks fancy. Sugar Tree Cafe, Wild Pink, Ray Soil, Ray Salt. Beach. Family owned menus. Huh. Ooh, Sunday what? What is this? Black walls? Small world. End grain coffee roasters? That donut looks like it's on point. What's going on, Mary? How we doing? I actually thought about not streaming today, but I'm like, I can't just not stream. I don't care who's watching me. I can't just not stream. No, I just thought of like just taking a day off. I'm like, man, I'll be honest. I'm like, man, people not trying to watch me. So I'm like, ouch. I didn't ask you for all of that. You can't hide nothing from me. I was looking at this website, but it keeps popping up like ads. You know how like you'll be searching for something? Like let's say you're looking for like clothes or something, but an ad will pop up and then you have to have like an account to even be on that page. And I'm like, how about no? Sunroad, what's going on, amigo? What y'all? Cleaning right now. Well, this is the perfect music to be cleaning to. Perfect music, amigo. Perfect. I think tonight I'm gonna stay up tonight. Just because Ray Soul. I'm looking at this place called Ray Soul Coffee. I want to see like images. Cause they seem to be, they're a little fancy inside. I mean, they look a little fancy. It's just coffee, right? Don't you dare say that it's just coffee. Well, of course, that one would be up there. Like, come on now, let's be real about it. Would you rank Starbucks as like the #1 coffee spot in a place? Why do I feel like Starbucks is, well, it's not fast food coffee, but you know, like Starbucks is like highly recommended. But why though? Because I can get a frappuccino, a pumpkin spice coffee duty latte. I'm hungry. That's one thing that I know for a fact right now is that I'm hungry. Oh snap, Franklin, what's going on? Hello, Paulini. I don't know who that is, but I know that that's someone. Oh wait, those are not people in my chat. Haha. Jackson's, what's going on, amigo? He says, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a minute, amigo. It's been a minute. I have no food right now. And it would be nice to have some food. Judging by the title of the video, there are some things that I want to talk about. And it got me thinking, man. It got me thinking. But all day today, by the time I got home, I think I was fine during the day. But then when I got home, or by the time when I had to go home, and then I realized there was some things that I had to do. It made me not want to be here. Some news I like to say, I quit GD until 2.2 releases. Jackson's, I'm not even going to lie to you, man. That's exactly how I feel about that game right now. That's exactly how I feel. I don't know, like, I don't even want to touch that game until the update drops. I don't find value in playing it, you know. And then like, I look at the way the channel is right now. And I know people say, "Oh, Grub, you know, like it's nice." I like, you know, your content is nice. That the content is only nice because I'm playing the game that you want me to play. Outside of that game, you don't tune in. You don't like the videos. Every time we sit there, we stream like 8 hours, 5 to 8 hours at a time, 2 likes, 20 views, and I'm like, look, I get it, I understand it. Like, just don't be surprised that like this. I would rather that happen now than have it happen later, where you know, where let's say we get like a YouTube play button, but that's all people want to see. I'm done with that, man. I'm done with that. Like I'm done with that. And I know you can't ask people for anything. Like, you can't ask for people to tune in and be like, you know what, if y'all want this, y'all gotta tune in and watch my other content too. Nah, don't nobody gotta watch you. Don't nobody gotta watch me, okay? Like, when I first started streaming, nobody was watching me then. So like now when I stream, a couple people tune in, and that's why like people say, "Oh, Grub, if you ever hit 1,000, will you forget me or will you change?" No, I'm not, because I'm not. I will never forget what it's like to stream to no one and be talking to myself during a just chatting. I remember my just chatting streams and nobody was in the chat, but I was just talking anyway. I remember that. But you know, outside of that, like when it comes down to that game, I don't feel like playing it. I don't want to play it. Not until that update drops. And you know, I don't see the point, man. I don't want to become an established YouTuber off of just that game. I don't, because number one, I don't have a skill in the game, and number two, I'm a variety streamer. Well, I want to be a variety streamer. I want to do my own things and be better. Not even just with streaming, but in real life, you know, I want to be better. And I'm trying to work it out, and I realize now more than anything that I think it's just time for me to go my own way and, you know, do my own thing, because I realize that there are some things that I've been doing and I've been trying to be, you know, considerate, but man, I feel like it's no point right now, because I know that in order for you to be able to take care of someone else, or and if we're gonna be 100%, you know, like, and we talking across the board, you know, you have to take care of yourself at the end of the day. With streaming, outside of streaming, you just gotta rock out, you know. And that wasn't even the thing that I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about was the fact that, like, where I work right now, like, you guys will not believe what happened today. Actually, you would. But I find it a little interesting. Jacksons, play the games that you enjoy, not the ones that the viewers want. Yeah, because look at our chat right now. Look at our chat right now. You know? Ying hasn't even tuned in. That's how I know Ying don't be feeling me. But like, I'm looking at the chat right now. I see Kyle's. I see Jackson. Mary's in there. Every once in a while, you know, Nitro will pop into the just chatting, but I know Nitro's out of country right now. It's a handful of people that tune into the streams when we're not playing a certain game. If I was to turn on that game right now, we would get people to tune in. That's not what I want though. I don't want that. I don't want people to come to me only because like they rock with a certain thing that I'm doing. But that's why that's gonna wait. At this point, I think Hollow Knight Silk Song and the 2.2 update might come out on the same day. Cause that's Hollow Knight Silk Song was supposed to drop in May. What's going on? What's going on? I mean, it is what it is, man. But like going back to what I was saying about what happened today. So where I work right now, it's all females, and I'm cool with that. I will always be cool with that, you know. We recently got like an additional guy, right? Like another guy, you know, was hired. He has, and like the thing is, he hasn't been there that long, and then I find out today that he's leaving. The reason why it's all females is because in the world that we are living in today, there are more women. Well, I don't want to say there are more women working than men, but there are, depending on what field you go into. If we want to talk in the realm of mental health, there are a lot of females that work in mental health. So you know, to a certain degree, I got the job because they you know, they needed a guy. But like, man, that's one thing that I've been thinking about. Like, I feel like people don't, there are jobs in this world that people do not value, but then nobody wants to do them. And then you have jobs that nobody wants to do that are extremely valuable. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. Nitro, what's you going now? Valuable in what way? Valuable in the sense of like as far as the economy goes. Valuable in that sense. If you're not working in the field of STEM, whatever job you decide to go in, if you're not working in STEM and if you're not working in like a job that's labor intensive, you are not. I'm not saying you're not getting paid, but that job is not as valuable as you may think it is. And the reason why it is invaluable is because corporate doesn't value that job in terms of dollars. You ever work for a company and then they'll tell you, oh, we need you. What you do is incredibly important, but you don't pay me like it's important. There are many jobs out there just like that. You know? And then one thing that I've noticed, Grub, would you ever date someone at your work? Would I? Me personally, I feel like my answer doesn't even matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because it doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. It's the chick. It's whoever I'm interested in. It's what they would do. When you work a job, it can be a little difficult trying to talk to somebody. And what makes it difficult is that you're not at a club, you're not at a bar. So like your approach to this woman is totally different. It's not even the same. Like you won't walk up to a girl that you're working with in like a corporate setting and say, let's go out sometime. You won't do that. Then you have to be mindful of who you are. You have to be mindful of what you look like too. And the reason why I say that is because you have to dress like you work there, or you at least the way that you look has to be appropriate. You're not gonna be walking in there wearing regular clothes thinking you about to go talk to a worker, because depending on how it comes off, whether that person likes you or not, that can make them feel uncomfortable. Now your job is gone. That's why. That's why you gotta be careful. All right, Mary. Like that's why you have to be careful because what you don't want to do is make the workplace uncomfortable for the next person. That's what you don't want to do. Because the minute you do that, it's game over. It's game over when you do that. And then you know one thing that I don't like. I don't like the idea of like, let's say I find my boss attractive. Let's say I find my boss attractive. Because of corporate etiquette or workplace etiquette, I can't hit on my boss. I don't mean hit on the boss like that, but I mean like I can't find my boss attractive and maybe one day want to invite my boss out on a date. Now, some people say the reason why that's a problem, why that's an issue, is because there's a power dynamic there. You know, you like your boss is on a in terms of position in the company, your boss is above you, so you're really not supposed to be talking to them. It does now, Jackson. It does now. Before it wasn't like that, but someone edited it. Someone tweaked Nightbot, and it was like, you know what? Every time someone says grub, they wanted to count. But then it was the same with the word free. But someone wanted that to be the case on Twitch. Anytime that I said free, or anytime someone said free in the chat, it would count as one, because every once in a while we say free. But now that I look at Nightbot and I see how many times my name has been said in chat, that's a lot of times. But like, you really have to be careful when you try to talk to people that you work with. And what the only type of, if you're interested in someone, the only person that you can talk to is someone that's on the same level as you. You can't talk, like, it is not recommended to talk to someone above you. Like foot soldiers should not be talking to their supervisors. It is considered wrong, whether it be a guy or a female. Whether the person above you is a guy or a female. That's the goofy part. It's like the person that's lower should not be talking to the person that's above. But hey, you can't help who you fall in love with. You can't help who you start to like, right? Now, what if it's the supervisor that takes a liking to the foot soldier? Is there an issue there? You tell me. You tell me. How we doing, Matt? Where's your camera? But going all the way back, to the whole work thing, like I said, I work with all females, and I'm cool with that. I've always been cool with that, because every job that I've worked at outside of one, outside of one, all female. No, actually, outside of two. Actually, when I used to work at FedEx and UPS. At FedEx, there were more females there because it was like mixed, and it wasn't even exactly an urban area. It really wasn't. It was an airport, but people do be trying to work. But then when you work like labor jobs, there aren't that many people out there that are willing to work intensive labor jobs. It says, also, Grub, what's the air quality over there? The Canada wildfire is harsh from what I saw on the news. Yeah, the past couple of days, it smelled like straight, like campfire wood burning. Like that's what it smelled like. Bro, what's your favorite game? Devil May Cry 3. Just off the top of my head, the first game that came to my head, Devil May Cry 3. But then the more I think about it, I can think of other games too. like top 5 Need for Speed Carbon, Devil May Cry 3, um, Resident Evil 2, Dead to Rights, and what was that other one? Need for Speed Carbon. Off the top of my head, I can think of names. But yeah, man, like I said, like before we get back to the story, I said that I'm like, you know what, I just might not stream today. Like, I'm not feeling it. And then in my head, I'm like, I'll be honest, I'm like, if you don't get your ass on the stream and like stream, and you know, don't take a day off simply because you feel like you don't feel like streaming, man, get out of here with that. But so like I said, like the guy was new, and he hasn't even been employed there long. And then I find out today that he's leaving, and I'm like, dude, he hasn't even been there that long. And then it got me thinking about, I'll be real, that's 3 people that I know of that are leaving now. It's 2 people from another department. Yeah, 2 people from another department, and then there's 1 person from my department that's just up and leaving. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, dude, like, I really don't have attachments to people. I really don't. But I'm like, you know, the people that you come in with, when you start to see them leave before you, and it's like, yo, they haven't even been there that long. It's like, I was having a conversation with my supervisor, and I kid you not, I had somebody to call, but I was talking to my supervisor for at least like 15-20 minutes. And she was just telling me that, like, that's how it is, you know, like that's how it is. Like, some people can't handle the nature of the job. And I'm like, if that's the case, why don't they pay us accordingly? Because if you're working a job that has a high turnover rate, if you know you're working at a company where people leave a lot, why are those, I mean, well, number one, the reason why those jobs aren't paying a lot is because people keep leaving. Well, maybe one of the ways that you try to increase, you know, decrease the turnover rate is to pay people more. Because one thing that I've noticed, even with the job that I was working at before, the people are doing what people's families don't want to do, but the worker doesn't get paid as if the workers don't get paid accordingly. Like, if I'm taking care of your grandma and you live with your grandma and you don't want to take care of your grandma, I should be getting paid $600,000 a year. I'm just saying. That's how I see it. If people have to do jobs that an individual's family doesn't even want to do, why should you not be compensated for it? And but at the same time, I think that's exactly why you don't get compensated for it, because it's not that important to the person's family. So since it's not that important to the person's family, it's not that important to the overall society. It's not important to the economy. It's just so interesting to me. Like, people don't care, yet a young person cannot. A young person would not be able to go to a senior citizen's home and purchase a piece of property. You mean to tell me that I have to be 80,000 years old to qualify for a senior apartment in a luxurious area? Why can't I be young and get like a luxury apartment? What if I have the funds to get that luxury apartment? Oh, because I'm not old enough, I can't get it? But when I'm 18, I can go to the military. When I'm 16, I can go work a cash register. I don't know. just be bugging me because it's like people just don't care. And like I get it. There's no way to bypass that because I don't mean that in a bad way, but on the balance of probabilities, you know, like there really I don't think there's a lot of money that's being pumped into, you know, like those homes like that. You know, like those senior citizen homes. And don't get me wrong, senior citizen homes are some of the most quietest, peaceful, and clean places I've ever seen. Like they're so quiet in there. You know, the older people are, you know, usually sweet. But it's like that's a place where no young people really are allowed. Like no young people are allowed to live there. And if a young person is living with, you know, a senior, there has to be a legit reason for that. Now there are some senior homes that really are expensive. I saw one, I kid you not. There was a pool. It was like grass everywhere, trees, lawns being taken care of. It looked so nice. I didn't think that it was a senior citizen home until I looked into it. And you know how much they said the person would have to pay a month? $3,000 a month. I kid you not, everything inside the building looked like it was bronze. Based on the pictures that I saw, everything looked like it was bronze. And I have to say, I think that bronze is more attractive to look at than gold. I don't know why. The way that colors just reflect off of it, it just blends in. Not just a connection lost for me. Whoa. But you know, like I said, going all the way back to the whole work thing, is like, dude, like for Broski to just like be on his way out this early. I've seen it before, but not in this field. Like you see people leave jobs their first 2 weeks working at FedEx and UPS during peak season. That's when you see people get up and leave work. You know, like they'll, oh, I'm not coming back tomorrow. I've seen people like work 1 week, say that they were on vacation for the next 2 weeks, and after those 2 weeks are up, I've never seen that person again. I've seen it. I've seen people just walk out and say, I'm done. I've never seen anyone get fired in front of me, but I've seen people just walk off. You know? Even at cash register jobs, I've seen people just like walk off. And walk off in the sense of like one person walked off simply because, you know, they didn't get a break. So the girl was like she had I kid you not, she had a whole line. And she was, and all she said was, I'm going on break. She had a line of people. Like imagine having a line of like 10 people walking off. And it was, and I'm like, are people allowed to do that? Because I was under the impression that you couldn't. But it just gets to a point where management, they just don't be caring enough. Like people will be sitting in those rooms, flirting with girls. Meanwhile, you have the people at the front of the store, the foot soldiers, suffering, making phone calls on the intercom like manager, come to the front. Manager, come to the front. Manager is, you know, the manager is in the building, but for some reason his ears aren't working. His or her ears are not working, and they won't come to the front. Then you'd be surprised when people start walking off. Then you only get a 15-minute break. Listen, to walk across the way, get some food, that's going to be 10 minimum. That's going to be 10, 12 minutes. Then you gotta quickly, knock your food down. Then you have to be back on the clock, dude. Like working that hard, man. Imagine if what you were getting paid for a job like that was more, then it would make sense. But come on, man, you giving people 15-minute lunch breaks? That's what we doing now. Can't do that. But yeah, like someone from our department is leaving. I go across the way, 2 people from that department leaving, but one person she basically got a promotion, so she's gonna be working at another spot. So they're gonna have to find someone to replace her, and they're gonna have to hire another person to replace the other girl that's leaving. And then in my department, they're gonna have to hire someone to replace the guy that just left, because the guy that just left, I ended up getting old people from the caseload, so the caseload got redistributed again. And I'll be honest, I have people that I really don't want to see. I don't mean for it to come off that way, but based on based on the conversations that I've had and what I've been hearing, I'm like, you know what? Now every time I have to try and talk to this guy, it's strictly phone. It's strictly phone. I don't wanna meet this person. I don't want to meet him in person now. It's strictly phone because I don't want to talk to people that have attitudes. Then like after that, I was just thinking about the whole thing when I got home. I'm like, dude, like people would just up and leave. Jackson, like every idea you think is new has already been used before. Yeah, it's hard to get something original nowadays. My stream will start on Thursday, but I'm headed back to the U.S. tomorrow night. It's gonna be a 20-hour flight. I just realized that Kaden says I'm going to eat a refrigerator. But it got me thinking about all that, man. And then I was talking to someone the other day about like just like leaving, like where they are. You know, I just want to go. And then it got me thinking. I'm like, dude, every once in a while, all you want to do is just get up and go. Go somewhere else, man. I was thinking about this whole like renting and buying like homes and things like that. And one thing that I have to say that pisses me off is the simple fact that you have to sit there and come out of your pocket for something that you're seeing no financial return on. There is something in me that hates that. I find it so penalizing in a sense. And then so like when I got home, I'm like, I'll be transparent, you know. I'm like, the way I'm feeling right now, I'll just sit here and just not go home. And I felt like that in a moment, but I'm like Josh, you know, this is just one of those things where you gotta work through it, man. You know, you gotta work through it, because you know, one day, like one day, man, one day I'll get a house. And then, you know, right now I'm thinking either loft, like a loft style home. Like, you guys know those loft style homes where, you know, you have like, you walk in and it's basically an open concept, and then there are like stairs that you take, but then that's like where the room would be. He said, Grub, if you don't feed me, I will eat all of the puzzle locks. Too bad for you, Kaden. Puzzle locks are not edible. You know, I was thinking like, if you could just find like a lifestyle home, do that, pay for it, whatever. And I'm like, if you could move someone in there and have them be, I mean, even if you had like a roommate, I don't know about a roommate, maybe. But I'm like, the only way to, because right now I'm just thinking about financial freedom. Everything is edible if you try hard enough. Nasty. You know, I'm just thinking about financial freedom. And there's no way to be financially free if you're paying for everything. If you're paying for everything and you're not seeing any return on, you know, on your investment or for what you're putting money into. Because the way I see it, like I said, if you're renting something, there's no return on that, man. If you're not renting to own, there's no return on it. It's a waste of money in a sense. Like I really look at that as a waste of money. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not in the real estate department, none of that. But the one thing that I know for certain is that if you really look at those multifamily homes, and you see a multifamily house that's like worth $500,000, do you really think that there's only one person in there? You really think that he can afford that by himself? Or like when you, or not even that, Like, you'll see, like, the landlord pull up, to that residence. You see it. You see a car you've never seen before. How do you think that is? Because, like, Broski has the ability, like, he bought a house, but now he moved people in there, and now those people, they're paying for his mortgage, they're paying the utilities, and after those two things are taken care of, that's extra money that's being put in his pocket. If the tenants aren't damaging his residence, if they aren't damaging the place, that's money in his pocket. That money he can use for loans. He can use it for a second house. He can use it for a down payment on another house. He can start saving. It's like, I don't understand why more people don't think like that. But I do think that maybe if more people thought about it, more people would have that financial freedom that they're looking for. But I don't know, man. I just feel like, in this world, in the economy that we live in right now, for you to be paying for something and not getting any return on it is a problem for me. It is a big problem for me, because you'll sit there and you'll say things like, I wanna be rich one day. I want to do this and I want to do that. But you're not making the necessary changes, or not even making a change, like taking a risk. I remember most of these locks are different. Some are spicy, some are sour, some might break your teeth, etc. Nitro's funny. But I don't know, man. But I was thinking about all of that, today. And I'm like, Josh, you gotta maybe slow down a little bit. Think about where you are, and just be easy and take it a step at a time. And I'm like, you know what? That I know. Grub, who do you want to win the next USA election? I don't know. I don't care about all of that. I just want the person who has the ability to make smart decisions and actually has a rap sheet of making smart decisions to be the president. That's all I care about, man. Because I look at the economy right now, like, I kid you not, I don't like reading at all. But you know what I have been reading? I've been reading up on the court cases with the student loans in the USA. I've been reading up on I've read about 3 to 4 articles already on that. 3 to 4. And student loans have been student payments for student loans have been extended to August 30th. So that means that people are gonna have, student loan borrowers are gonna have to start paying back their loans after August 30th. Lucky, because it could have been June 30th. Now that could be a little blessing in disguise, because I really don't think that people are in the right frame to really afford the payments that they have. Some people, like I've read an article that said, we have like $230,000 in student debt, but these two people are lawyers, So this person has at least a $50,000 job, a $50,000 salary job, and I just think that, I don't know, even though that's a big price point and that's a lot of money to have to pay back. How are you supposed to pay back $230,000 when you only make $50,000 a year? So basically, you multiply, like, if you only make $50,000 in a year, it'll take you 2 years to make $100,000. And on the balance of probabilities, you might only see $70,000 of that in net. So that's $30,000 that you're not seeing. Because everybody knows at this point, everyone that has ever had a job or looking to get a job, when people are looking at how much money you make, they always go off of your gross, which is pretty stupid because you're not seeing gross. You see net. If you make $1 million a year, but then what you take home is $750,000 a year, you will never see that other $250,000 a year. only unless you file for taxes, and that's if you even get the $250,000 back from that, because they just might tax that again. So it's like you're not seeing your gross. So for someone that's making $50,000 a year on paper, if that's gross, you might only see 45 of that. And then from there, how we doing, Gabe? From there, and you do need teeth, Kaden. From there, you have to try to pay back $230,000. I really think that would take you until you're like 70, 80 years old to fully pay that off. And what bugs me is that the education, tuition goes up 10% each year. Why does tuition go up 10% each year when people are learning the same stuff? They're learning the same material, but you have to pay 10% more for the same books that you would have used for the same class next year. Why does tuition go up? Like, why is that? Tuition goes up 10% each year. Your rent goes up each year. Maybe not unless you got a mortgage and you can lock it down. Outside, I'm thinking about it now. Like that makes perfect sense as to why you would want to go and get a house and get a fixed rate for your mortgage. Because if you're renting, your rent goes up 10% each year. Go get yourself a house, lock down the mortgage rate, get a 30-year fixed rate for your mortgage, and you won't have to worry about your rent going up. Because you never know, when in 30, I'll say maybe 25, 30 years, your house is fully paid off. Now you have a whole asset right now. So whereas if you're just renting something, you don't have that. That's why I'm like, come on now. Now I get it. You know that there are benefits to renting, but you're renting to not own. I find that really stupid, and that's just you're not investing your money at all if you're just gonna rent a place. That's why I get infuriated with the things that I have to deal with in my life right now, because there's something that I'm thinking about. I see paths to financial freedom. I see paths to being successful, and it require. I know there are some things that it would be really nice if you had a team to do it with. But I think that right now, instead of a team, you just need some knowledge. But like the thing that bugs me is that, like, you know, all of these things, these prices are always going up here. Then we have to deal with inflation. Your dollar is weaker, on top of the fact that the cost goes up every year. So that's a double whammy. Your dollar is weaker because the cost of living and education goes up 10% a year. So your dollar is weaker in that case. And then your dollar gets hit a second time. Your dollar is, I'll say, your dollar gets a second nerf because of the inflation that we're dealing with right now. So your dollar is literally twice as weak as it was the previous year. Because you got to look at it like companies are not willing to take a hit for the cities that they serve. Like, this company is like, I need to make as much money as possible. Like, take a look at gas. If you really want to be honest, do you really think that gas, that the people that own gas stations don't have the ability to keep gas at $2? Do you really think that they don't have the ability to keep gas at $2 at an affordable price so that everybody could benefit? Wrong. No, actually, I said wrong. I said, I think they do. The problem is, I understand that since the price for them to import and keep the station running and the business running, they have to charge more to cover like the demand or to cover the lack thereof. But I'm like, dude, if you take a, like, we could look at, education and the student loans, right? Don't you know that there are HBCUs out there that forgave that forgave their students debt. Historically, black colleges and universities forgave student debt. Like, they erased debt for their students. Why can't more institutions do that? It's as simple as just knocking it off. Do you really think that this 21-year-old or this 23, 24-year-old student has the ability? No, actually wrong. Let's take it back to freshman. This 18, 19-year-old kid, freshman in college. Do you really think that that person has the ability to pay back $70,000 in student debt by the time they graduate? Do you really think that they have the ability to pay that back? You know they don't have the ability to pay that back, and you don't really care because it's a business for you. And at the end of the day, if you can tie $70,000 to this kid that is still afraid of the dark, you would do it. You don't care. Because at the end of the day, once they sign those papers, they're under contract, they're bound by it, and no matter what they do, they have to pay it back. So even though you know that this person can't pay it back, now their credit gets messed up. Now they can't get a house. Now they can't get a credit card. They can't get a down payment for a car. They can't even go rent their own spot. They have the money to go rent their own spot, and they can't. I don't know, man. And that's why for me, I look at it like economic demand. Economic demand. And so that's why I think, I mean, there are some solutions out there, you know. There are solutions. You can go find a job that learn a highly valuable skill and work with your hands, man. Work with your hands. Construction, HVAC, you know, that air conditioning thing, like mechanics, electricians, engineers. Those jobs pay. Those jobs pay a lot because the majority of society don't be wanting to do it. People be wanting to sit down and be chill. Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind. I don't think I would mind doing like construction or like I wouldn't mind building a house. I wouldn't mind building a house. I built my desk. I built my chair. And that was actually fun for me because you sit down with the screws. You got to screw everything in, make sure it's leveled out, make sure it works. And don't get me wrong, like building the desk and building the chair, I think I did both of those in the same day, and it took me all day. Oh no, at least like 6 hours to do it. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it when I get home on a weekend. So I rocked it out and built it. But then once you build everything, it's all sturdy, stable, and you see like what your hands can do. You know, you can learn, man. Imagine paying for Harvard University. Listen, going to Harvard University, at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. What difference does it make that you have a bachelor's, you know, you have a MS, let's say you have an MBA from, I'll pick a random place. Let's say you have an MBA from Boston University, but then you have an MBA from Harvard University. It's still an MBA. The only thing that separates those two universities is networking. That's it. You gotta pay. Listen, last time I checked, freshmen in Harvard University had to pay $50,000 there. Some of those people aren't even declared majors yet. You got a 4.0, you're gonna go to Harvard University because that's the most prestigious university on the face of the. No, that's one of the top prestigious universities on the face of the planet. For what? For what? Like, man, I'm just saying, like, listen, a Harvard graduate cannot compete with an electrician. And I'm not saying all like, you know, well, what if this person went to Harvard University and, you know, they studied like mechanical engineering. What I'm saying is all of that education cannot compete with actual real world experience, you know? Now don't get me wrong, Ivy League schools are I want to say Ivy League schools are undefeated when it comes down to networking because like that brand, like look at Ivy League schools in terms of like maybe brands. Yale University, Princeton University, Harvard University, Dartmouth. I think another one, isn't it Stockton or something like that? But all of these prestigious universities, like even Duke University, like highly popular schools, when people graduate from those schools, if they play their cards right, they have amazing networking abilities, and they know so many people just by being tied in with those universities. Oh, you graduated from such and such university? Well, your boss graduated from such and such university, and that's gonna get your foot in the door simply because y'all graduated from the same place. But like outside of that, do you actually have the experience to perform? But sometimes it's that networking that'll get you in the door, man. Because sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And we know that. But do you have the ability and the mindset to even network in the first place, to make it to those levels? But outside of that, it's like, dude, a degree is a degree. Whether you paid $30,000 for your degree or whether you paid $50,000 for your degree, you're still going to be faced with the same issue trying to find a job in your respective field of study. Now, well, I get what you're saying when you say, university should be free. University is free in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't think it's free in Canada. Healthcare is free in Canada, or at least when I was in school, and I was in school in the sense of when I was in grammar school. What did we study? I think it was in like history class or something like that. Like healthcare was free in Canada. Probably not, especially when tuition costs more than $8,000. Some even cost more than 10, I think. To be honest, I won't probably go to university. It's too expensive, and I'll be paying my debt off till I'm 65, and I don't want to have debt. Plus, I'll have house debt and stuff. In my country, the first year of university is free, and that will change, though, if the government changes. In New Zealand, for me, the first year of university is free. Yeah. Because, your first year in college, on the balance of probabilities, the average college freshman changes their major, if not once, twice. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some crackers and something to drink. Bonnie! I need food! I have returned. It says, speaking of Canada wildfires, I don't think face masks will work anymore because of how we breathe in. You might as well get a gas mask for safety. Yeah, because the thing with the mask is that even though I wore one, I still smelled it. And then what made it funny was that I went outside to make a call, and I'm like, well, I can still smell it. Lady. Up. Gotta make sure she's not choking on crackers. It says each year there's always something some stupid events that happen. First COVID, then California wildfire, new viruses showing up. There's chickenpox, and now Canada wildfires. Anymore? Pretty soon the world is gonna run out of socks. They'll only be able to sell socks with holes in them. Can you imagine? The Black Lives Matter. Well, I'll let you forget about the Aussie one. Well, you never know. Never know. I try not to feed it too many Ritz crackers because salt. I'm gonna hurt them. But my cat eat anything I eat. I'm pretty sure she don't eat greens. What? You want another one? The world doesn't have unlimited resources. Funny enough, I think that's what they want you to think. The world doesn't have unlimited resources, but millions of Americans. Hold on. The world doesn't have unlimited resources, but everybody has a pillow at night. It could be true if it could be true if they tell you it long enough. She chilling now. Don't leave, man. I don't know. What do you mean a screen? I don't have a screen behind me. And if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, that's not a screen. When people say things like, oh, the world doesn't have infinite resources. Here's what I think. I think when the world says things like that, what ends up happening is people end up overbuying things that they do not need to be stacking on. Prime example, toilet tissue. Instead of people buying all of that toilet tissue, what they could have done was got toilet tissue and baby wipes. People wouldn't have been panicking so much over the toilet tissue then. If people were to put the baby wipes right next to toilet tissue. Well, it's not a board. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That board that you say is a shelf, no, the board that you say that is blocking the shelf is the shelf. It's the shelf itself. 2 crackers left. Hold on. My cat just be staring at me. But yeah, man. Can I help you? Fine. I'll show you the cat. I'm not gonna pick her up. That is her just chilling. That is until I get more food, that is. Yeah. She be chilling. Huh. Goofy. She be chilling. She just be lazy for free. Cause see, what ends up happening is like when I stream, and then when we do like the long streams, she's usually here. Like, she's either on the desk in front of me or up there. That's like a usual spot. Well, you're ridiculous. I mean, the funny thing is, I didn't notice she moved because I was looking at something on this screen. The only thing that I don't like sometimes is when she's laying like right here. I would much rather her not. Ow, I hurt my hand. But yeah, man, like, dude, I'll be honest, Like, guys, are there any like chill ideas to do? Because I'm thinking, what is something that people do outdoors that is quiet? That's what I was thinking. Like walking. Why does the title say parting ways? Anything wrong? The title says parting ways because when I was at work, I was having conversations with people, and I found out today that one of the people that I worked with, they're getting ready to leave, and they haven't even been there that long. That's number one. Number two, I spoke to other people in the same building, and they're leaving too. Two of them. So that's three people that are leaving in a span of maybe 2-3 weeks. And I'm like, dude, that is so interesting to me. Then, in my personal life, I was looking at something. Like, I had this feeling of just wanting to be invisible, if you will. But I'm like, wake up, get focused, pay attention, and just take it a day at a time. Because everything that you want to do in life comes in due time. You have no choice but to just rock out. So it was that. And then on top of that, I'm like, I didn't feel like streaming. But I'm like, turn the stream on and start streaming. This is your weekends are for you to stream. Get to it. Like it would be different if I was actually doing something today. But what I'm going to do later on tonight, I'm going to do that anyway. How long was the person there for? Nah, the person wasn't there for a year. He was there. He hasn't been there that long. It's interesting to me because like when I like I said, like I had a conversation about this, and I was talking for like 15-20 minutes about like that's just the way it is. Like people just come and go. Some people just don't stay that long. They can't handle it. And then I went on this whole thing, and I'm like, for someone to sit there and say, oh, people can't handle this, blah blah blah, and then the people above us not to pay us what we deserve simply because some people can't handle it. And just like the nature of the job and what people have to deal with anyway, you should be getting compensated for that. Because if somebody decides that they want to have a WWW wrestling match in front of you, should you not be compensated for that potential? That's what I thought.
Mama muscle butt.
Muscle butt. Buck meow, buck meow. But yeah, man. Different music immediately. What are we getting close to? If we think about it, Christmas is coming around. I've never gone to a Christmas party. And the funny thing is, I remember my old job, I was invited. It was like, oh, Grub, it's going to be a Christmas party. You want to go? I'm like, I'm not interested, dude. I'm not interested in going somewhere with a bunch of people I really don't care about. And I don't mean for it to come off that way, but it's like, okay, one night be talking to people. Now, don't get me wrong. You could potentially meet amazing people in those situations, but I'm like, dude, I don't care about some Christmas party. I don't even like to dress up. I don't want to do none of that. thoughts just now. Luxury jazz. Jazz lounge. That sounds fancy. Don't care. Warm jazz music immediately. They all sound the same, don't they? Bro, why don't you want to do what? Have you enjoyed the stream? Why don't... What? Favorite one. Goofy. Think about it, just wanting to fly. I want to fly. Miss. That's all you ever do. You jump up, you jump down, you jump up, you jump down. Cucaracha! Talking about some $22.50 for one bedroom. They talking about some. These prices look stupid. One bed, one bath, $22.50. Oh, why would you sell somebody a loft with no beds? I want to actually see it. Have the audacity to tell somebody they gotta pay $22.75 for no bed. See, you know what? The funny thing is, it doesn't do it any justice because you can't even see what the places look like. Oh, is that why? Is that it? I'm looking at some kind of home right now. Believe it or not, even though it's a studio, does it have stairs? Oh, it just has a cutoff where the bed is. That's why the studio was like that. Okay, so with the one bed, hold on. Looking around, you walk through the front door. Front door looks the same, just like the other one. Got a baby deadbolt on it. Got a kitchen. Baby girl water weapon in the kitchen, smacking cheeks, walking past, going in the fridge just to get something to drink. Look to the right. Oh man, look at that. I see a bed on a bed right there. Is that a bathroom? I wanna actually. The camera's high because they wanted to see Faye one. Boy, ain't nobody visiting me. If I see a human floating out of the sky trying to talk about some grubby, sure, uppercut immediately. Grubby, I grew wings and I'm flying. You can. I might hit him with a two-piece. Tatsumaki. I'm gonna catch his chin floating in the air. have returned. I have returned. Look, I'm gonna take it to the live. Actually, I'm not gonna take it to the live screen. Where's my Actually, I am. I want y'all to see what I see. Look, check this out. Check out what I'm looking at. Right? So like I said, right? I'm looking at these. Oh, what's up? Wait. Oh, that's a mirror? Oh, that's misleading. That looked like a whole room the first time I stared at it. I'm like, why can I not go through that wall? Somebody reading on the left. So I let you enter, you know, front door. Somebody got a cookbook, like they really be cooking in the kitchen. Wait, that stove though. Hold on. Can I go in the kitchen? You're not gonna let me in the kitchen. Maybe I gotta go through the kitchen like this. Oh snap, no kitchen. Can I zoom in? Nope, you're not zooming in on nothing. But this spot right here looks like it's a 1-bedroom. I just feel like, you know, like the world is so expensive with what we have to deal with in today's time, you know. So I feel like in all actuality, dang it. I pulled the thing off. Dog grooming, Sky Lounge. Like, this is where people just be going to hang out. Sky Lounge? I don't see no sky. Let me look at the 2-bedroom. Let's see what the 2-bedroom look like. What? How much they charging for this? 60 million? Kitchen look the same. Oh snap! It's something on the left. Well, of course, it's a bigger space, but it's more flushed out. Still a mirror right there. Almost tricked me into thinking it was a room. Shower dower? Is that like a step in? Oh wait, it's a low rise thing. This room is the same. Wait. Why does this not look like a bed? A bedroom. This little baby closet, high rise ceilings. These are lofts. Washer dryer combo. Got a table right there, table for 4, but I only need a table for 2 because baby girl is getting on the table. Bedroom for free. Looks like a master bedroom actually. Well, not a master bedroom, but a pretty big one. Oh snap, 2 bathrooms? Okay, fancy. What's this? Walk-in closet? Ain't nobody wearing those. Certainly not me. What is this? A mini closet? Gotta be. I don't know about no. But see, look at the studio though. You know, you walk in. Oh, that's the front door, so it's not even as open. Makes sense. Like when you open your front door, you don't want to be squished. You want it actually to be Hakuna Matata. There's a movie screening room. Oh, they are fancy. Rooftop lounge. Careful when it's raining outside. But look at how much these places cost. Look at that. They have one bed, 1 bath, $22.50. No beds and 1 bath, $18.10. For no beds. But with the studio, like your bed, let me show you guys the studio again. Because the way that this, even though it says no bed, it technically is a bed, but it's just not as attractive. Oh, what's on the left? Wall. What's on the right? No wall and a bed in the corner. Look at, I see why that's a little nasty. You got your washer and dryer in the same room as your bed, but then again, there's no bed. there's just a space for a bed. This thing gotta go. I don't know what that is. That gotta go. I don't need a bag. I don't need something that says laundry. I don't like this. Like this whole cutoff right here, they could have just had that be like open. Make it be one big open space. But to cut this off, nah, not digging that. And look at what Broski window was looking out to. Windows. Where did my YouTube chat go? Oh, there it is. But yeah, that's just what I was just looking around at something. The only thing that I don't like, it would be nice to find something that wasn't like you know, like a super high-rise place where multiple people live there. I would rather it be like super regular, man. But not to mention, like, what do you really think you can ask for? Solaris? Looks fancy. What is this in New York City? It looked like New York. Just off of that, that doesn't even look like. Ah, no wonder. I see where it is. That actually doesn't look bad. For it to be those dark colors, and this looks like it would be peaceful enough. At some point, you're just gonna have to buy it. Ain't nobody trying to lease? Outright buy. What's wrong with you? Stupid. Guys, it's 9:13, so it might be that time for us to get up out this jam, okay? Rarely in Vietnam, I've seen a lot of variety. I've seen a variety of dogs, but I've yet to see a cat. I heard one outside our balcony, but I don't see it. That's funny. Well, I'm glad that I spent some time with y'all. Did a little bit of chatting, venting maybe a little bit. Tomorrow we have Amnesia, The Bunker. I'm excited to play it. And we'll see you guys then, okay? You guys take care. And we'll see you.